Welcome to your reading. This is a reading that is a celebration of joy, a celebration of healing, a celebration of coming this far. You have accomplished and transmuted so much. You have fought and fought and fought and fought, and I am so proud of you. You have done what so few are willing to do. You have bared it all on the proverbial cross, and you've allowed yourself to be totally open and vulnerable and crucified to find your true self, to redeem your true self. And that is worthy of celebrating. I want you to know who you are is worthy of celebrating. Who you are is worthy of celebrating. Who you are is worthy of celebrating. Your spirit, your soul, the unique energy imprint that is you. You may have gone through life feeling like everything about you was wrong, feeling inherently broken, flawed, and in need of fixing. And in your lowest moments, you felt unfixable, irreparable, beyond hope, without value, without merit. And I'm so sorry that you were made to feel that way. I'm so sorry that your caretakers and that those around you left you feeling that way, because nothing could be further from the truth. You are a beautiful soul. You are a bright and shining soul. And you are so loved, appreciated, and admired more than you know. You see, sometimes when people see a bright light, sometimes when people see talent and a strong spirit, it makes them feel insecure. And in their insecurity, they try to inject that in you. They try to make you feel a type of way about yourself and that you lose your shine. It gives them a sense of power. It gives them a hit of dopamine. But they know what they're doing, and they feel terrible after doing it, because when you hurt a pure, kind, joyful, loving person, you're not going to feel good about yourself, especially when they trust you, especially when they only want the best for you, especially when they just don't deserve it and have done nothing to deserve it, and that the treatment and the comments and the inferiorization, disguised as maybe like constructive criticism or advice, but it's really shade. When it's not done in good faith, when it's not done honorably, trust me, it eats away at that person. It eats away at that person more than you know. And if you could see things from outside yourself, or even from the other side, you would know and see how beautiful you are. Because if you weren't, why would someone need to suppress that? Why would someone need to put you in the shadow? Why would someone need to put you down? Like when you really think about it, it makes sense. And I just wish you could see yourself in your full glory, in your full beauty. But we're on the road to that. We're on the road to that. So that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay. It's part of the journey, and that's why we are celebrating you today. And I'm infusing this reading with healing energies to heal the pain, to heal the parts of you that hurt and that feel shame of things that really are not worthy or are not, do not merit feeling shamed about, do not need to be changed, but they're just unique expressions of you, okay? And I intend that those parts be healed and that those wonderful aspects be illuminated for your eyes to see what a gift you are. So what if you've lost your temper before? So what if you've had tantrums? So what if you've been so deep in your pain and in your victimization that, you know, you saw no way out, you lashed out, you screamed, you cried, you protested. So what? Anyone in your situation would do that. And if they're not, where do you think they would be? When you are being oppressed and you fight against your oppression, that feeling of being oppressed, of being suppressed, of being of facing injustice again and again is not going to make someone good. And the goal is never to be kumbaya about it. I'm sorry, but that's just not it. And I'll say that again and again and again. The goal is not to be feelingless. The goal is not to never be triggered. The goal is not to never have a tantrum. The goal is to be okay with them. The goal is to understand you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and emotions are fundamental to the human experience, and that pressure on a person makes them react. And only a psychopath is going to taunt and point and laugh and ridicule and make that oppressed person seem like they're nuts when it's very clear they are being pushed to this. I'm going to pull out my Nature's Whispers decks and pull some cards to go along with this celebratory reading. If you're listening to this, you should really utilize water for healing. Like whether if you can go into a body of water, whether that is the ocean, a pool, a bathtub, a shower, whatever you have access to. If you can get into that water and just allow yourself to be embraced by it, to be soothed by it, it will renew your spirit. So the cards I drew are catch your breath, pause, and amplify your positive emotions. It's time to take care of you. It's time to pamper you in whatever way that means to you. No judgment. If it means retail therapy, it means retail therapy. You know what I mean? If it means junk food therapy, it means junk food therapy. If it means running, barefoot in nature, it means running barefoot in nature. If it means playing with animals, it means playing with animals. Whatever that means to you, and is going to renew your spirit and soul. Because unfortunately, these spiritual spaces and these spiritual streets have kind of colonized, healing and enjoyment and, self-care. And when I say colonized, I mean, they've put rules on it. They've put parameters on it. Like, oh yes, take care of yourself. But, it has to be grounding, and it has to be in salt water, and it has to be, totally organic, and it has to be this and it has to be that, to the point where you're stressed trying to get rid of your stress. Like, come on now, like, make it make sense. No, do what you feel means pampering yourself, and you're always free to improve on that definition. It could be binging on a show or on a certain food, but maybe down the road it's going to change to something else. Maybe that's no longer going to be it for you. But don't feel like you got to get it right, because that's the thing. That's the energy we're moving out of. Feeling like we have to, there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. And, oh my God, like, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, or you're just going to exacerbate the problem. Like, if you have a drop of sugar, like you're dysregulating your nervous system, and you're making everything worse. And, theoretically, they're not wrong. You know what I mean? They're not wrong, but it's getting to a point where, what's the point? If it's becoming just as stressful thinking about how to do it right than just doing the quote unquote unhealthy thing. You know what I mean? The point is to take care of yourself. But that was a whole rant. Back to the topic at hand. But it was an important rant, because I like to preface and include these things because there's so much dogma in this space. And I'm just here trying to break through that dogma and get my message across. And I have to do these rants from time to time to do that, because it's gotten ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's gotten ridiculous. Let's look at the numerology. Another message I received here, download, is, just because you've healed or you're in a better place or you've grown, doesn't mean you have to abandon ideas or dreams or plans or goals that you made when you were in another state. You just simply are doing it from another perspective, i.e., you don't have to invalidate your previous self. And I don't even like to say previous self or selves, because our essence and our soul and our spirit, it was always there through all the drama and all the trauma. It was there. We just couldn't see it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean it didn't shine through at different moments. And I think one of the worst things we can do to ourselves is just invalidate who we were, or who we were and how we reacted to our circumstances of limitation, circumstances of oppression, circumstances of mistreatment and maltreatment and neglect. I need you to forgive yourself and have compassion and understanding and care for who you were in those moments when you were just trying your best, when you were trying to survive, when you were trying to deal with these circumstances in impossible situations with impossible people and unreasonable people and standards and parameters. I need you to look at yourself in those situations with compassion. I need you to shine compassion and love and light on yourself in those situations. Picture it and allow love to fill those spaces and those rooms and those situations that live in your mind. Okay? Take care of yourself. Cherish yourself. Do something nice for yourself. For me, I'm doing this reading. That's for me too. To celebrate how far I've come. To celebrate my healing. To validate who I've always been. That there was nothing wrong with me. Nothing. I was reacting to circumstances and my reaction was pathologized. My will to be free, my fight to be free, my fight to be me. Not all of us can be broken down. Not all of us can be beaten down and shamed and stay there. Some of us are natural born fighters, and some of us have just come into this world with a whole lot of spirit and a whole lot of power that nothing and no one can extinguish. Now let's look at the numerology on these cards. We have 15, 4, and 7. How shall I break this down? I want to look up just the numerology of 15 specifically, and not just 6, the 1 plus 5. And I'm going to use my trusty resources here. 1 second. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I'm gonna use the resources here. I don't really want to guess it or ballpark. It's taking me a little while to find it. Okay, got it. Got it. Number 15 contains an interesting mixture due to the independence of number 1, the freedom-loving, changeable, and receptive quality of number 5, mixed with the harmony-seeking energies of the number 6. This creates quite a complex but gentle and loving vibration. The key word for number 15 is spirited, because 15 energy people have a lot of spunk. They keep their private lives totally private and don't enjoy intrusion or publicity, as they are very discreet and prefer to stay out of the limelight. Home and family mean a great deal to the loving 15 person. And they enjoy the security of a settled family life and they need to feel and see and hear the frequent expression of their partner's love and support. The more aloof they seem, the more they are in need of affection. Okay, so I'm kind of getting the message before that last bit, which is really like a breaking away from family systems or family power dynamics. Like that's really the energy I get. You are breaking away. You're taking your power back from toxic family dynamics. And you are whew, I felt that one in my chest. And you're doing it with spunk, with bravery, if that's even a word, but with spunk, with braveness, with boldness. You're going after freedom from this toxic cycle and these toxic energies in a way that is very both unique, admirable, and very empowering. You're not just doing it, okay, I'm gonna heal, I'm gonna go my way, or it's time for me to grow up, or it's time for me to move on. No, you're like, I'm doing it. I'm loud and I'm proud, and this is how I feel, and this is the line drawn in the sand, and this is how I see it. There might even be like a hint of sarcasm and humor in that, and memes. That's what I'm really getting here, and good for you. The next number is number 4. And I'm going to wrap this up after the numerology because I just really felt that energy and I feel kind of tired now. Number 4 resonates with the vibrations and energies of practicality, organization, and exactitude, service, patience, devotion, application, pragmatism, patriotism, dignity, trustworthiness, endurance, loyalty, mastery, building solid foundations, conservatism, determination, production, and hard work. Number 4 also relates to high morals, traditional values, honesty, and integrity, inner wisdom, security, self-control, loyalty, conscientiousness, reality and realistic values, stability, and ability. Number 4 vibrates with the attributes of progress, management, justice, seriousness, discipline, system and order, maintenance, constructiveness, dependability, conviction, passion and drive, the world, completion, practice, repetition, realization of power, ability to use practical thinking, basic form of order, prepare for renewal, instinctual knowledge. Number 4 also relates to the energies of the archangels. It is connected to the planets Mercury, Uranus, and Saturn. The Emperor card and the color green. So what I'm really getting with this is that like you have been steadfast in your healing and overcoming and empowerment journey. Like you have not given up. Like if you are out here and someone in your life ever told you were like lazy or unmotivated or I don't know, a couch potato or something, you are not. Like if this spiritual, emotional, and mental health work could be valued in the same way like, visible productivity was, oh my gosh, like your work ethic toward this, it's off the charts. Like you have been putting in the work. I mean, for the number to be connected to Saturn, that is about someone putting in the work, putting in their dues. And number 4 is the Emperor card as well, which talks about discipline and self-discipline. And you've just been disciplined in your healing and in this journey, and you haven't given up, and you haven't been tempted to go off the path or take something easier or give in to societal, social, or familial pressures. And that is such a huge accomplishment. It may not be celebrated out there in mainstream society. It may not be something you can put on your resume or you can put on social media. But let me tell you something. It's like you're graduating and you're getting a degree in this because you've really put in the work. It shows, and it's not going unseen. In the spiritual realm, it's not going unseen. Even in this realm, people will play like they don't see, but they see. They see. Because you haven't given up after all this time. There's been so many trends, be it with within or related to spirituality or mental health or whatever. And you've been about that life. You're not saying the buzzwords and just sharing the reels, and the memes. No, you're really about that life. And that's something to be celebrated. And that's something to be rewarded. And also, don't just wait for the universe to reward you. Reward yourself. Do something nice for yourself. You deserve that. Okay? Okay. Last number 7. Ooh, I already know what this is going to be about. Number 7 resonates with the vibrations and energies of the collective consciousness, faith and spirituality, spiritual awakening and awareness, spiritual enlightenment, spiritual development, mysticism, intuition and inner knowing, inner wisdom, psychic abilities, the esoteric, inner selves, deep contemplation, introspection, eccentric religion, thoughtfulness, understanding of others, natural healer and healing, secrets, myth, ritual, peace, poise, emotions and feelings, inner strength, endurance and perseverance, persistence of purpose, the ability to bear hardships, quick wit, the loner, solitary, isolation, long-sighted, the non-conformist, independence and individualism, intentions, manifesting and manifestation in space and time, and good fortune. This number is also connected to Saturn and the Chariot card and the colors purple and gray. I'm gonna look at the Chariot card. But what I got immediately for this is that you're not just healing yourself, you're healing the collective. You're taking on collective energies, not just individual energies. And that is a huge responsibility to bear. And it's you've done it. You've done that. You didn't just take on your own shit. You took on society's shit. And it's you nailed yourself proverbially to the cross and allowed yourself to be redeemed, and your true light still showed, and you were able to show and prove the falsehood of those paradigms by your own soul's resurrection, by you still standing here and still shining. That you did everything they said was the wrong thing to do, was the wrong path, was not going to lead anywhere, was stupid, was lazy, was this and that. And look at where you are now, still standing, still shining, still the same person. Some of these people may even be congratulating you and admiring you on certain things. When you were first starting that, they were trying to say, well, does that even make sense? Or they were doubting you, or rather trying to sow doubt in you. Because here's the thing, if you were to pull this shit off, they know they would feel so inferior, and they just didn't want to deal with that. So they're like, you know what? Let me stop them in their tracks, because I don't think I'm going to be able to see them in that position. because I know I'm not going to be in that position. And I know I sure as hell am not going that deep. And I'm certainly not taking on no type of collective energy. So congratulations. Congratulations on making it this far. Congratulations on being steadfast in your healing and your journey, in your self-realization and recovery. I am so proud of you, and I send you so much love. Treat yourself. Namaste.